Welcome back to the Super Expander podcast, where your expansion goes beyond just a vision of what's possible for you in life and business. Your clear path is begging you to get grounded, stay focused, and massively move the needle forward without draining your tank. Let's move out of the overwhelm, remove the distractions, get unstuck, and stay consistently performing at your highest level. Here we go. Hello, Super Expanders. Welcome back. How's your heart? How are we feeling today? How's your vibe? I have been thinking a lot about entrepreneurship lately, as I tend to do. I've been thinking about leadership and all the things that are required of us. And my intention for you today is to talk a little bit about something that can help you in entrepreneurship, that can help you be a more conscious leader and benefit. It will also just make you a better human being, a better partner, a better mother, a better friend, a better human being. So listen up, because it's going to be a juicy one. But like I said, I've been thinking a lot about entrepreneurship and really what it is required of us to be conscious leaders. And it requires a lot of things. It requires us to be focused. It requires keen observation, critical thinking, resilience, patience, being a good listener, thoughtful communication, a regulated nervous system, just to name a few, are things that I always have said that entrepreneurship requires of us. And, when I first got into entrepreneurship or on this journey, which, gosh, so long ago, I very quickly came to understand that entrepreneurship really is a rocket ship for personal development. It will shine a mirror on your shadows. It will turn a light on to all the spots where you need to pay attention to grow, to expand, and your business will not grow until you address these things. You will butt up against the same resistance. The same lessons will keep coming your way if you don't start to grow. Like I said, upon jumping into this roller coaster, amazing, wouldn't trade it for the world kind of ride of building a business and leadership, I knew there was internal work that I needed to do, especially when it came to patience. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story here. So they say that patience is a virtue, and actually my mother said it was a virtue that I never possessed. She told me growing up that patience just literally was not something that I had, and I completely disagreed, by the way. So by definition, patience is the capacity to accept, delay, or tolerate difficulty or annoyance without getting angry or upset. And I would say this is a pretty critical piece when it comes to being an entrepreneur, to running a business. And heck, to be an adult, this is a piece of something that we need to be able to do. Life and business is about solving problems and dancing with uncertainty, right? And I would say that being a college athlete, a single mom, and the owner of multiple businesses over the years, I am pretty freaking patient. Well, that is until it was a Tuesday afternoon in April of 2021. And I was on a car ride to the gym with my daughter when we started bickering over something that was just trivial and, it was not unusual or out of form. A mother and a daughter, a teenage daughter, college age daughter at that point, but it was this sort of interaction that would escalate, and it would always end in both of us being upset and me feeling guilty and my daughter either crying or being angry at me. And it was really a truly sickening pattern of being triggered and lacking patience, causing me to be completely unaware and also a really poor listener. So during this time, I was in this constant state of living in my head. And as much as I hate to admit, my type A, high-performing personality combined with the environment, a high-stress environment of entrepreneurship and being a single mom, and let's admit it, probably COVID too, had cemented in some really unproductive patterns that were blocking me from reaching my full potential in performance, in income, in impact. It was obviously affecting my ability to interact like the mature adult I needed to be for my daughter. My creativity was waning, and let's really be honest, it had actually completely left the building. My hormones and health were suffering, and I was not experiencing joy or fulfillment. And of course, obviously the most important thing really was that it was really negatively impacting my relationship with Jordan, with my daughter. And I spent most of my days, they were like knee deep in my own thoughts, spinning in my own mind, trying to solve problems, critically thinking, I think it was more cyclically thinking in these like thought patterns of trying to solve these recurring problems that I was having in my business. And when I wasn't stuck in my mind, when I wasn't stuck in my head, my eyes were glued to my phone, scrolling Instagram for inspiration, probably comparing myself under the delusion that I was doing work. I was deep in this doom loop of comparing myself and my results to those of my peers. So you can imagine this place where I was. So we're in the car, we're bickering, and I had this moment where I remembered I had recently read this article about HRV and the nervous system regulation and its impacts on the nervous system. And I had flagged it to come back to later. But on this particular Tuesday afternoon in the car in April, when this interaction began, I intuitively remembered this article, and I paused for a second and I took several deep, slow breaths, and something inside of me shifted. It was as if this gift of a brief moment of awareness, of control, of just being able to not react and actually respond my mind was completely blown. Those breaths pulled me out of my head and they brought me into the present reality. And rather than being reactive, I was able to listen to what my daughter was saying, and I was able to respond in an emotionally intelligent way. Okay, so you might chalk these interactions that I was having with my daughter up to just regular mother-daughter relationships, but it was a leadership thing. It was a performance thing. It was a potential thing. It was a business growth thing. It was a life thing. It was a happiness thing. It was a fulfillment thing. I have a question for you. Have you joined the Super Expander free mentorship community? If not, what are you waiting for? Stop what you're doing right now and text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. Text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. I send out weekly tips and inspiration to help you grow your business, to step into your wealthiest, most highest self, to harness your full potential and live an exceptional and extraordinary life. And the best part is, it's really me sending those messages. So text me, say hello, and send me your questions. So the shift that I experienced was so big, it really caught my attention, and it really shined a light on the power of HRV and nervous system regulation in the connection of cultivating patience. And so I learned a lot about it. I dove in and I began implementing it. And I started playing with it and doing these exercises daily and actually prepping for big meetings and presentations and sales calls. And as you might have guessed it, car rides with my daughter. But the things that started to shift were immense. My patience improved. My listening improved. My resilience improved. My stress diminished. My relationships started to feel more deep, more connected. They really started to be more vibrant. And my income started to increase. All of this started to translate into more sales, more business, clients being happier. My performance was truly over all areas improving greatly. And I was really only beginning to scratch the surface. It was a massive breakthrough, like a whole brand new woman I was becoming. And I just don't even think that this transformation, I don't even resemble the same person that I was prior to starting this practice, learning about it. I'm totally kicking myself for not taking before and after photos. Wouldn't that be cool if you could take before and after photos of mindset transformations or like internal work transformations? Although they actually do affect our outward appearance totally. So what I'm getting at here is that this work started to translate into every corner of my life and business. And if you're new here, I don't really believe that there's actually a separation between the two. When we're connected to our purpose and we build from that place, it all gets to be just kind of this ebb and flow. And you build a business that you don't need to take a vacation from. It becomes like part of the fabric of your life. So this new HRV mind-blowing experience was literally breathing new life, breathing new meaning into how you do anything is how you do everything. And so the deep dive began into the transformational power of breathwork, of HRV, and learning how to harness it all to achieve flow state, which is something that we as human beings are all chasing on a daily basis, is flow. So breathwork, HRV, and flow has literally changed my life. So you need to stay tuned to learn more about it. I know this is hitting home for you, and I have the tools and the resources for you to be the CEO who moves the needle forward in under 4 hours a day. Click the link in the show notes to learn how.